Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to be joined again by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent, Mr. Podcaster Extraordinaire. Today, we're going to be talking about the 4 hidden risks killing your deals, even when ROI is clear. So, this episode is a CEO and founder's guide to scaling up revenue. We've got the book out on Amazon. We've got a 4-week rapid sales growth boot camp, and we've got a PDF overview, all available through the links below. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm on fire, man. It is, couldn't be a more beautiful day here in Chattanooga today. 70 degrees, sun is out, clear blue skies, light breeze. It's beautiful. Should be golfing. That's what we should be doing.
On the opposite scale of that, it's about 60 in Oklahoma City and drizzling. So,
Yeah, well, I think that's coming my way.
could be, probably is. Yeah,
Pretty sure it is. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure it is.
starting to see little sprigs of grass coming out, the little green sprigs you see early
Oh,
in the
wow.
season. Yeah.
Wow. No, I've got to cut my grass. I'm a week late. I should have cut it this past weekend, but I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, we're in dry grass season still here, but
Yeah.
it's about to get kicked off real quick. So
It's starting to
there's
go, man.
4 big things we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, okay.
4 key
Cool.
things, right?
Yeah.
So let me kick it off with number 1, the real decision no one sees. It's not about features, it's about survival. So executives aren't evaluating your solution, they're evaluating their exposure, right? A bad decision equals
Mm.
career damage, political fallout inside their organization, investor
Right.
scrutiny, and credibility erosion. So, when a CEO hesitates, it's not confusion, it's a risk calculation, right? You're not
Yeah.
selling to a rational evaluator, you're selling to a leader protecting their company and their future. So that's number 1. That's what's going on.
And it's interesting because that risk calculation, or you know, you talk about investor scrutiny, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you're post failure. We've been on that. We've been on that side, right? I mean, where you clearly can provide a solution and clearly overcame all the objections, except for the fact that that leader has already lost the credibility with the VC,
Yep.
right? I mean that occurs, but that's exactly what you're talking about. But it's difficult because sometimes you perceive that, but it's not really the case. How do you are there telltale signs that you see when this is occurring, when you're hitting that leader that's not really leading, he's just trying not to lose, I guess, so to speak?
The one that really
Or
concerns me is when you get through your overview and you've
yeah,
gone through benefits and value and they don't
yeah.
ask any questions. That's a
Mm,
telltale that they don't have the authority to move it forward. Otherwise, they're like, well, how would this work in my organization? How would you work with IT? How would you work with compliance on this or maintenance
looking
on
for the
this?
soft costs of implementation, right? And disruptions of implementation.
You remember about maybe 10 years ago, disruptive technology was all over the place.
Yeah,
Disruptive.
sure.
You don't
Yeah.
see that anymore. Nobody wants disruptive. What they want is value, verified results, deliverables, and how do you mitigate all the junk that's going to, get in the way of getting to the end zone, right? All those
Yeah.
tacklers on the field. How do you get through the tacklers? Using a football analogy. And really, if you don't bring it into the conversation at all, it hurts. So that really gets me to point number 2.
Ooh.
Executives process risk in 4 dimensions. Most
Mm.
sellers never address them. Okay. So, number 1, political risk. Will this hurt my internal standing?
Hmm.
2, operational risk. Will this just disrupt the machine? 3, financial risk. Can I justify this up and down the chain? And then 4, emotional risk. What if I look incompetent from this? And you know what? The most dangerous of those is the last one, emotional risk. Because behind every stalled deal is this silent thought going on. If this fails, am I the one blamed for it?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's what's going on behind the scenes. And with the work we do with clients, Michael, we bring it in to the pitch, right? Here's what you get out of it. Here's, EPA certifications. Here's this, here's that. We do a roadmap together. We do an on-site, a turnkey, whatever it is that we need to do to mitigate those problems, anticipated problems. That we do that. We talk about it.
Right. I mean, because all that, the political risk, the operational risk, and the financial risk, they all fill into the emotional risk. And you can eliminate that emotional risk if you address the first three. And you can address the first three in many different ways, I suppose. I was going to say in one way, but no, now I think about it, there's a whole bunch of different ways, right? Is it a drop-in solution for soft disruption? Is it going to be accepted by the departments or other verticals or silos within that organization that interact with whatever your solution provides a solution for, whatever arm or vertical in that business that you're providing a solution for? Do they interact, and does it then prevent future advancements, right? Because you got to look at what type of space you're in, right? Are you in the hammer and chisel diesel side of things, or are you in the tech savvy AI side of things, right? Or both? Because a lot of these guys that are making the decisions are not nearly as smart as the people who develop the solutions. And one of the greatest fears is, right, they don't understand all that stuff, and somebody smarter is going to come along. Well, you shouldn't have done that because of X, Y, and Z that you would never ever be able to figure out because you're just not that tech savvy. So, I mean, you've got to foresee all those arguments and make them happen beforehand.
Yeah, when you're having your early meetings on your solution, right?
Yeah.
If you're a startup, you're getting these questions from them. You should write down what are those hindrances. And then you should put that into your pitch, the mitigation of those things. Because when you address it like that, as you're going through your overview, your pitch, then you're addressing that emotional risk as you go. And then it
Mm-hmm.
becomes, well, how do we do this?
Yep.
Right. We've seen that switch. I mean, I've seen an executive walk into a meeting with a no on their face and go, no, no, no. And by the end, they're like, well, how do we do it? I mean, I've been in those meetings, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
And that's fun because you've basically taken them through here's the deliverables and the outcomes that we get and testimonials.
But is
And then
it, are you shooting those elephants as they come in the room?
well, like, as you're going, how do you mitigate this problem? Like, let's
Exactly.
talk tech for a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody's tech department, IT, for the most part, is overbooked. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So what
Or
can
at
you
least they
do?
claim to be.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's
I'll have
true.
it done for you in 2 weeks. Yeah, sure.
Oh man. But they tend to be pretty busy. There's a
Yeah.
lot of tech things going on always. Okay. So what do you do in that situation? Why don't you think about doing a guaranteed deliverables with a turnkey approach? Right? How do you keep their IT staff from wasting 100 hours on your thing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Could we start with one location, do a parallel implementation? In other words, you got your old way, you got your new way. Let's run them and see what happens, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I did this in my career a bunch, actually. And then once they've seen the result of the new way, they're like, turn the other stuff off. It's not giving us nearly as good a solution as the new. So, but if you don't address it and you just go, "Hey, don't worry about it." That's one of the like, don't ever, don't say that you don't need to worry about that and just keep on moving through your deck. That's just not going to work, to be honest. It's just not.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's not. You're 100% right because there's always some sort of risk, and if you're in there saying there's zero risk, baloney. You have to address what it is and help them understand it. You understand what it is, and based on their specific idiosyncrasies within their business environment, what is that risk? And you need to understand or make them know that you understand how to best calculate those risks and explain to them this is what happens. Because if they can go to their group and clearly explain, here are the risks outlined, and everybody accepts that these are part of those risks, you've eliminated political and risks,
Mhm.
right?
Here's
As
how
an
you
objection.
here's how we mitigate all these things, right?
Yeah,
We
you are
put in
absolutely right. And here's what could happen. And here's how we help you solve through that. But you're exactly right. Here's what could happen. Or you're right, there are risks, but you're exaggerating a bit. And here's why, and why you understand that risk.
Mhm. Yeah, here's what we've done to mitigate that,
Yeah.
you know.
Claiming there's no risk or anything like that is bad, is wrong.
In fact, that leads us right into perfect segue for number 3. Why always staying positive is destroying trust. So
Right.
traditional sales training that I've been through, right? It says stay upbeat, avoid the negative, sell the vision, right? The problem
Yeah.
is executives don't trust optimism without realism, right?
True.
When you avoid talking about risk, they assume you're hiding something. They carry the fear on their own shoulders alone, and the trust between you and them just declines, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
Pollyanna all the time and nothing can go wrong and don't worry about it, kind of
Yeah.
thing, no, that's not going to get you a sale. It's not going to. So when you avoid the risk discussion, they assume, you've got something to hide. But when
Mm-hmm.
you address risk head on, right? Anxiety actually becomes part of your strategy. Hesitation becomes partnering, and you sound like a peer, not a pitch, right?
Right. Right.
So, risk spoken actually becomes leadership because you're becoming a trusted advisor to them, right?
100%. It also shows you understand the business.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Denying risks
understand
makes you a
this.
rookie. Makes you a rookie on it and unexperienced is what it makes you when you deny risk constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It does. And then they go offline to their colleagues and go, man, I don't know. This is, I don't know how we
Well,
mitigate the
you're
IT.
assuming that they're not talking to another solution provider.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You want to be the solution provider that's the one that's upfront and honest and giving them the information that they're going to go to and go, okay, what about these risks and these risks? Well, yeah, those are very real concerns. And here's how you address those and what the potential really is based on what you're saying. The potential is one. Well, actually, it's one time. Actually, it's one plus one because you're not thinking of this and this. Oh, yeah, that's right. But here's how we mitigate those risks, right? Now you've really got some trust over the
Right.
guys go, no, 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 don't worry about it. We got those fixed.
Nothing to
And you
sit
may be
here and
right.
move. Mhm.
100%. You could be dead on right that they don't have anything to worry about it, but you got to walk them down the path to show them that you do. They don't.
Yeah. How does your solution get them there
Well, 100%.
while
Yeah.
while mitigating the potential points of failure, right?
Yes. That's
So,
exactly right.
so the number 4 thing, key, the executive safety net. How to make big decisions feel safe. We've worked with solutions, you and I, Michael, that are hundreds of thousands to millions a year, right?
100%. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And executives don't buy on excitement, they buy safety. So, to lower the risk and accelerate these decisions on big deals, you must create number 1, clarity. What will happen step by step? Number 2, predictability.
Mm-hmm.
Timeline, milestones, roadmap. Number 3, defined roles. Who does what when? And then number 4, evidence. Proof from similar scenarios. You've got proof from similar scenarios and you're talking through them as you're leading them down the path, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the shift has really gone in the last 15 years. This shift has gone from here's why we're great to here's how we protect you while delivering these outcomes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it, felt it. Um, you used to open with our company history and a client logo screen, and then you get to the solution, right? Not
Yeah.
anymore. You get to the value verified results, then you go, here's who we are and how we do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
the world we
you
live
can
in.
make the argument of over promise and under deliver or don't oversell or all that kind of stuff, but all that assumes that you make the sale and then you're looking back on it, right, and seeing, well, you oversold this, you overdid that, or whatever. And that doesn't. It's the attitude and the verbiage that you use when you're overselling and you're not, and you're not addressing these things in an open, honest way that causes that gut feeling that I don't think so.
Yeah.
right?
And in fact, in the proposals and the pitch, you should have the deliverables and outcomes that are safe, right? We can
Yeah,
guarantee you this if you do this, right?
that's right.
And then if they get that guaranteed result, and we'll do this, that, and the other thing to get you there, and of course at a safe level, right?
Yeah,
That safe level is obviously you got to make sure there's a return on investment, right? The safe level, right? But the
yes,
safe level, here's the return on investment, here's what you get out of it, and then we guarantee this, that, and the other thing. I recommend highly in the pitch and the proposal, the website, everything else, you're speaking that same language.
yeah,
Right? So that's what
absolutely.
that methodology, the messaging, like you just said, is so important. So, so important. Because frankly, you and I talked about this, we've talked about it a bunch. They go online and look at you before they ever decide if they're going to meet with you anyway. So if they don't see clearly outcomes, previous results, and how you might help them, they move on. They
Yeah,
move on.
true. Yeah,
If I go to a
they absolutely do.
website and within the first minute or so I can't tell what the value prop is and how it might work for me, I have to move on. I can't spend 15 minutes trying to figure it out. So, anyways, those
Yeah,
are
no,
four.
you got to be clear, and once that door opens, you got to keep with that clarity.
Right.
You do, and here's the thing: you can't guarantee, and you can't give predictable timeline milestones roadmaps. You can't define what does what and when. You can't give that clarity of step by step. This is how things are going to work unless you understand their particular business and processes, right? What is the current technology? What are their current processes? What does their current equipment look like? What does their current employee structure look like? Who makes decisions and when do they make decisions? Otherwise, if you don't know those things and can't speak to those things, you can talk about clarity and predictability and all that kind of stuff all day long. But if you're not using your knowledge of what's inside their business, and you're dead in the water. You got to understand those things. And that's why, some of the basics of sales that have always been true is shut up and listen, take notes,
Yeah,
right?
right. Let them talk.
Yes, let them talk.
Yep,
He who
absolutely.
talks first loses is not it's a cliche because it's true.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely give some questions inside of your pitch that
Yeah.
allow them to talk risk and how do we get there questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And,
So
and,
those are
and
four big ones, the four hidden risks killing deals out there and what you can do about it, right? So
well,
more to come in the weeks and months ahead, of course, on this front. Thanks again for coming on, Michael.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Peace and love, everybody.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.